Hello everyone. In today's class, we are discussing HRB soil classification, which will cover under pavement materials of highway engineering subject. Before going to the HRB soil classification, let us brief the things why we are doing this HRB soil classification. Now, for the subgrade, varieties of soil are available. Out of varieties of soils, which soil is suitable for our subgrade or not? To analyze this suitability of soil as a subgrade material, we are performing HRB soil classification. With this small introduction, let us start with HRB soil classification and how it works. Now, now, before going to HRB soil classification, first you should know in HRB soil classification, we are having one formula. You have to remember that formula. The formula will be group index is equal to GI. Generally, GI stands for group index in our HRB soil classification. Group index is equal to 0.2 into A plus 0.005 into A into C plus 0.01 B into D. I already explained in your theory class what A stands for, what B stands for, what C stands for, and what D stands for. So now I'm straight away explaining the problem. But before explaining that problem, if I want to calculate A, I hope you know what to do. I want to calculate A, percentage of passing soil through 75 micron sieve, percentage of soil passing through 75 micron sieve minus of 35 you have to do in order to get A value. In order to get B value, again percentage of soil passing through 75 micron sieve minus of 15 you have to do. In order to calculate C, you have to do liquid limit minus of 40. In order to calculate D, you have to do plasticity index minus of 10. I already explained what is this 35, 15, 40 and 10 in your theory class. I repeat, in order to calculate A, percentage of soil passing through 75 micron, or you can saw it as 0.074 mm sieve or 200 number sieve minus of 35. In order to calculate B, percentage of soil passing through 75 micron sieve minus of 15. In order to calculate C, liquid limit minus of 40 you have to do. In order to calculate D, you need to do plasticity index minus 10. Okay, after doing this, I will explain you how you have to classify the soil based on HRB soil classification. In order to understand this, here we are having one problem. Okay, now let us see what is this problem. Okay, here the problem is the properties of subgrade soil are given below. Here certain properties of the subgrade soil they had narrated below here. Percentage of soil passing 75 micron, it is also called as 0.074 mm sieve, it is also called as 200 number sieve, is how much? 55%. That means from 200 number mesh sieve, total 55% of soil will pass. Liquid limit of the same soil is 50% and plastic limit of the same soil is 41%. When this is the case, they are asking classify the soil based on HRB soil classification system, and also they are saying discuss the suitability of this soil as a subgrade material. First, we have to do HRB soil classification. That means out of from A1 to A7 soil, we have to find out this soil belongs to which group from A1 to A7. After that, we have to say what is the suitability of this soil as a subgrade material. In HRB soil classification, first step is you have to see whether liquid limit I have given in the problem. Of course, he has given how much it is liquid limit, 50 15%. Okay, liquid limit they had given it as 15%. Once you know liquid limit and also plastic limit they had given in the problem. Once you know with liquid limit and plastic limit, you know how to calculate plasticity index. Plasticity index is given by the formula liquid limit minus plastic limit. Liquid limit will be 50 as given in the problem. Plastic limit will be 41 as given in the problem. Therefore, plasticity index of the soil is how much? 9. Once you did this, calculate group index as I given in the formula here. Okay. In order to calculate group index, you have to calculate A, B, C, and D. Okay. It is calculated like this. A is equal to percentage of soil passing 75 micron sieve. How much? It is 55. Therefore, 55, 55 minus of 35. Now, in order to calculate B, percentage of soil passing through 75 micron sieve minus of 15, that is 55 minus of 15. Now, in order to calculate C, liquid limit minus of 40, liquid limit is 50 as given in the problem. Therefore, 50 minus 40. In order to calculate D, plasticity index, that means this value you have to consider. Plasticity index will be 9. This will be equal to 9 minus 10. So you have to get these answers. Okay, I solved here. See, 55 minus 35, 55 minus 35, the answer will be 20. B is 55 minus 15, the answer will be 40. C will be 50 minus 40, the answer will be 10. Here D will be 9 minus 10, it will comes negative value. Whenever you will get negative value for either A or B or C or D, you have to consider that value as 0. Okay, whenever you will get negative value, you have to consider that value as how much? 0. Okay, now after getting A, B, C, D, substitute all values in the formula. Here group index formula is there. No, substitute A as how much? 20. Substitute for, okay, A as 20. Again for C you substitute it as 0. For B you substitute as 40 as given here, and for D you substitute it as 0. After substituting here, you can see I got group index value as how much? 5. Okay, once you ready with this value, okay, you have to use HRB soil classification table in order to classify soil into different groups. Let me open that chart now. Yes, this is the chart we are using in order to classify the soil. Okay, here what we have to focus is, in this chart we required 3 data. What are all those data means? We required this data, percentage of soil passing through 75 micron C. We required liquid limit of the soil, and we required plasticity index. You already found in the problem. Plasticity index you found how much it is? 9. That is liquid limit minus plastic limit. That is 50 minus 41. Plasticity index is 9. And finally, you need group index value. You already found group index value in the problem, and it is found to be how much? 5 by using that formula. Here you can see group index, you found it as 5 had written here. Okay, so these data are required for you now. One is this one, and this one, and this one, and this one. That is percentage of soil passing through 0.074 mmc, liquid limit of the soil, plasticity index of the soil, and group index of the soil. If you know these 4 values, you can classify the chart based on HRB soil classification system. Okay, now what you have to focus first is, you can see the cursor point what I am showing here. Here first this greater column indicates percentage of soil. See, granular soil less than 35%. This second greater column indicates percentage of soil greater than 35%. Here you can see our percentage of soil is more than 35%, correct? No, if you use this greater column if it is less than 35%, you have to use this greater column if the percentage of soil passing through 200 micron sieve is more than 35%. Here ours is the 55. Therefore straight away you can go with the second column. In the second column, soils available are A4, A5, A6 and A7. I repeat, in the second column soils available are A4, A5, A6 and A7. Okay, now let us check the available. Here he is saying that number 200 passing sieve, it should be more than 35, and you can see here If I want to call the soil as A4, passing this sieve 0.074 mm sieve should be 36 minimum. If I want to call A5 as a soil, it should be 36 minimum. Okay, if I want to call it as A6, again 36 minimum. If I want to call A7, again 36 is the minimum. That means if I want to call soil as A4, A5, A6, A7, minimum percentage of soil passing through 200 micron sieve as given here should be how much? 36 is the minimum. Ours is 55. That means it is more than the minimum. Correct? No? Minimum 36, it should be there. Maximum, no limit. Correct? No? Therefore, definitely our soil belongs to either A4 or A5 or A6 or A7. But here, specific classification you have to do. For that, you should see liquid limit of A4, A5, A6 and A7. If I want to call a soil as A4, liquid limit should be 40 is the maximum. What is our liquid limit? 50. Therefore it won't come under A4. If I call it, if I want to put it under A5, means 41 is the minimum liquid limit I should have. Maximum is unlimited. Therefore probably our soil belongs to A5. There is a chance because our liquid limit is 50. And A6, if I want to call 40 is the maximum, ours is 50, it is not applicable. Again A7, 41 is the minimum. Now the thing is, our soil, it should be belongs to, as per the liquid limit, it should be belongs to either A5 or A7. Now we have to go in specific whether it belongs to A5 or A7. In order to see that, see A5 or A7, in order to see that, finally we will check plasticity index for A5 and A7. Our plasticity index is how much? 9. Okay, now what is the plasticity index of A5? 10 is the maximum and A7 is the 11 is the minimum. Correct? No? If the minimum is 11, I can put that soil under A7, but ours is only 9. Therefore definitely it will comes under the soil A5, which is can accumulate a plasticity index of 10 maximum. I can't put it under A7 because 11 is the minimum value here. Therefore our soil belongs to this column. This column is A5. Okay, now we understood that our soil belongs to the soil group A5. Once you're ready with this, in the next table, you can see here, in the next table, they had given what is the suitability of different soil to the subgrade material. Here you can see A1, A3, A2, A3, A4, A7 is there. Our soil belongs to A5. If it is a A5 soil, you can see a suitability, difficult to compact, doubtful stability, poor to very poor subgrade material. And also he's saying that drainage is poor. See, drainage is poor. Then volume changes characteristics is high. Frost action is also high. Therefore, this soil is not perfectly suitable for subgrade material. This is how you have to perform HRB soil classification. I hope guys you enjoyed the class, and I believe that all of you understood how to perform HRB soil classification using HRB soil classification table. With this, I am ending this session. We will meet in the next session. Thank you.